Ladies and gentlemen, let's Red Gamer Telecom video. We're going to be playing, well, Dead Rising 3 on the PC. You might notice there's a little bit of an oddity. There's a frame rate counter in the top right. Now, you might be wondering, is that an accident? No, it's purposeful, and I'll go into why in about 5 seconds flat. So, I'm going to be playing with Xbox 360 pad for this particular title because I've tried it on keyboard and mouse, and frankly speaking, no. So this game definitely, in my personal opinion, benefits much more with a pad. It just doesn't play right at all, in my opinion, with a keyboard and mouse. But anyway, so to explain the rather odd decision, or seemingly odd decision, with the frame rate counter, I've unlocked the frame rate. Now, in case you're wondering how I've done this, I have written an article. It's linked in the video description, which also gives you a downloadable version of the INI that I'm using and detailed explanation. It's pretty simplistic, but it also goes into the drawbacks and stuff as well. Now, you'll notice that there are two resolutions. You might say to yourself, is that the same as this? No, it's not. I'm not going to twitch and alter them, but if I was to try and mess around the settings, it's probably going to screw up my recording. But basically speaking, this is like the internal resolution of like the various assets. This is what's being displayed on screen. So basically speaking, for the best quality, you want to set this as high as possible. But as you'll find out in just a moment, it's extremely performance hungry. I'm running on a GTX 780 Ti with an i7, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I still get performance issues. Now, I've noticed it dips to about the 40 range on my system. When I overclocked my 780 Ti, I got better performance. However, I've actually reset the clocks. So I'm now using a standard clocked 780 Ti. The reason I've done this is just to give you a better indicator of how everything works. I'm going to click on story mode, and I'm actually just going to restart the story, actually. As it turns out, yes, you can go away. I'm going to go to single player, because I don't want anyone to, well, bug me, to be frank. This is not going to be a let's play. All cutscenes will be mostly skipped. I'm going to primarily be focusing on the controls and the performance, since it is the thing that is in the news. Everyone's covered this in terms of a let's play by now, and everyone has covered this most likely on a PC version as well, in terms of like the basic storyline. So I just want to show you how it runs and blah blah blah. I will be doing a complete performance test versus Xbox One version in the next couple of days, as well as in-depth analysis on both Nvidia and AMD cards. I have a couple, including some mid-range cards, as it turns out. I'll be trying them on like a GTX 760 and a couple of an R9 285, and I was really close to that, and he was just like, nope, not going to pick it up, which is kind of annoying. And an R9 280, and I might try it on something else as well, but I might be going a little overkill. Just a little bit, so I figure that'll do the trick. I'm going to be buying an Xbox One over the next couple of days. I'm going to be getting the the Destiny pack, which does actually come with Halo. Alright, shall we get the shovel, or shall we pick up... I don't know, I think I'm going to stick with the shovel, personally. I like the shovel, it pleases me. Yes, great. So, you'll notice that at the moment there are a couple of small dips, but, for the most part, it's kind of doing okay. It's pretty much up there. Now, there are 2 points to this I want to mention. I'm going to quickly go back to the graphics options, and I want to show you something. Now, VSync currently is disabled on mine. I would recommend that you would leave it enabled. I'm disabled it for the purpose of demonstration. I'm trying to show you how wildly the frame rate can vary. I once again want to reiterate, I would recommend that you enable it, just so that you don't get so many oddities. Regarding primarily frame pacing, I have noticed a few strange occurrences in terms of the animation, but for the most part they seem fairly solid. I'm just showing you a few seconds of cutscene just to show you the overall graphical quality, but we're certainly going to be going fairly far into the game. I'm going to be showing you about 20-ish minutes of gameplay. you can see that the frame rate is starting to tank. Now, if you're wondering why it is, it's because of all these zombies. You can turn down the zombie quality in terms of, not the amount, obviously, but the actual aesthetic quality of the zombies. But obviously, you know, that's kind of a decision you'll have to make based on your particular setup. And fuck off. I really hate this bloody zombie. It always makes me jump. Hold Y to ground attack. Okay. Look, I was trying to ground attack you, zombie. Yes. Right. He's pretty harmless now. Or should I say harmless? Hee hee hee. Right. Axe time, baby. Four. Oh, by the way, this video is probably not suitable if you're squeamish. Go figure, right? Okay, we want to pick up the water. And we'll just quickly drink that. Just goes tasty, tasty, tasty. Ow! Go away. I was drinking my water. It was a refreshing beverage. Why do you interrupt me while I'm having a refreshing bloody beverage? It's very important to make sure that you are well hydrated, don't you know, while zombie killing. So, we have a tactical handgun. Interesting. Alright. That's disappointing. Ah, there we go. That makes me feel happier inside. We have 28 bullets. Okay, he's burning nicely. Alright, let's see if that blows up on its own merit, shall we? Turns out, guess what? It does blow up on its own merit. Yes! Ah, shotgun. Oh, that's not ideal. No, that's bad. Alright. Oh, hi! I like that. That's actually really fun. Alright, share. We need to find a way out. So I guess we go straight forward. Alright, I'm gonna stick with this gun though. Well, there's yourself, so you know that's something, right? It's ow. That's not what we want. Alright, can we get up there? No, we cannot get up there. Alright, so obviously it's a bargain day. Okay, cool. So we will see the frame rate take a little hit in a moment. I'm just going to skip this because, well, reasons we've already mentioned. Yes, 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 yes. He's not happy. Move on. Alright. So one could see pretty much... Okay, we can press back. If you so wish to look at that stuff. Personally, I'm not going to bother. So, there are a lot of things on screen. There is a pretty decent level of draw distance. Now, I've heard some people say this game is not that well optimized. From what I understand, Capcom are looking into the issue. Now, I'll quickly mention, just because you might be curious, VRAM usage. VRAM usage on my system, 1080p, all the settings you saw, I noticed my VRAM was hitting... Oh dear. Wait a minute, 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 wait a minute. Right, I've got to be Daryl for a second. Ah, now I know how... Yes, I'm unsure if I'm either Claire Redfield or Daryl. I don't know, Claire Redfield's kind of cool. But anyway, as I was saying, VRAM usage on my system has been about the 2 to 2.2 gigabytes. That's max, that's not average. I like to look at worst case scenarios because obvious issues such as, you know, loads of zombies on screen, that's probably going to be like the worst case scenario. It's not too bad, honestly, and you've got to remember that everything is at max on this. I mean, obviously, you could enable, like, MSAA and force that and stuff, but generally speaking, oh dear. Oh, balls, oh, balls, oh, balls. No! I do not have a moment to talk about your Zombie god. See, there's a lot of dudes here. I mean, one has to admit that it's not like there's like one or two of them, is there? I mean, come on now. And honestly, the frame rate does hold. I will say, however, that if you are someone who has a lower end rig, you're probably gonna have to switch your card to something that's a little... Oh god, that ain't good, that ain't good. Oh, balls. Oh, balls. I mean, look how many there are. They're actually pushing the sodding cards, which is kind of ridiculous. There is a little bit of texture pop-up. But this is, to be totally and truthfully honest with you, if you're like a mid-range GPU owner, you're probably going to need to turn down the internal resolution a smidgen. A smidge, an iota, a jot. Okay, well... I was saving this, but eh, whatever. Yeah. No. Oh, balls. You know what? I'm more of a melee dude. Weapons do degrade. Certain ones will degrade faster than others, obviously. So, I'm unsure about this game. The thing is, on the first Dead Rising, I keep going to call this game The Walking Dead, which is really irritating. On the first Dead Rising, I'll be honest, I found the game a little bit annoying at times, if I'm totally honest with you. I found the difficulty level was sometimes a little bit frustrating, particularly as you've got the time limit regards to survivors. So, in a way, I kind of prefer this. But I do understand that there is got to be kind of like a happy medium. Alright. Come on. Come on, little fella. Come on. Come on, then. No, you're not going to come forward, are you? Alright. Oh, God. That is not ideal. That is bad. That is... There's no universe where that's good, really, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we're doing okay. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're gonna get a crafting thing in a second. Will someone let me in? Yes, we will let you in. The Lodger Munchers. Alright, skip that, of course. Okay, we need the sledgehammer. And we also need this. And we're going to make the Saw of Doom. Doom, I tell ye. So, crafting weapons, I mean, you'd not really think about doing that in reality, but in this game it works extremely well, as it turns out. However, these weapons do degrade fairly quickly. You'd think... I don't know what I prefer. What do you think, audience? Do you prefer slice? Or do you prefer smash? So I'll show you again. Smash, 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 or slice, 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 and slice. Personally, I prefer the slicing. Yes, I am hitting my buddies there. I'm sure they're fine, though. Now, the reason I prefer slicing is because, well, it pretty much cuts them in half, which is just fun. But the other main reason, to be totally honest, is because it hits so many of them at once. I'm trying to make my weapon break so you can kind of get an idea of how long it takes. But I guess we don't really need to do that anyway. Alright, so we actually have to go this way. So we can probably actually get into a car. I think it's that car. Sweet. Oops, that's not what we want to do. Uh-oh. Hurry up then. You're clearly in no fucking hurry. Alright, we need a little bit of ramming speed here. There we are. So now we're getting... What do you mean they're gonna get in? How the hell are they gonna get in? Maybe if they crash through the windshield. Yes, quite. So you can see the frame rate is certainly tanking at points. Oh dear, this is not an ideal situation. Yes, that's the way we need to go. Frame rate is certainly taking a hit. Now, as it turns out, this actually happens on the Xbox One version as well. Perhaps we should go with, like, water, you know, the path of least resistance and all, rather than the path of most resistance. Which tends to be my usual modus operandi on these games. See me rolling. I don't know if it's the better way to go that way. Probably not. Ow, ow, ow. I'm sure you're fine. Yeah, sweet. We don't want to waste my precious car durability on a survivor. I'm sure she'll make it. She's not in any real danger. Yes. Excellent. And more importantly, my chainsaw is still intact. So my overall opinions on this, before I close out, I'll just quickly get past this little section as I'm explaining it. There are performance issues in the game. On the other hand, they are not awful. Considering how much stuff is actually happening at once, you've got to remember that this is not a game where you're like, okay, it's kind of like nothing's happening on screen. There is a hell of a lot that's going on screen at once. Graphically, it's quite nice as well. It's definitely an upgrade for the Xbox One version. But at the same time, I do feel that dipping to 40 FPS on a GTX 780 Ti is a little overkill. So it's like, I don't know. I can half forgive it, but not completely forgive it, if that makes sense to you. With that said, though, I mean, you can do this to people. So, do I think that you should buy the game? Well, personally, I actually quite like it. I think it's fun. I do understand, however, that you might need to... Seriously? You're coming out of the... Literally out of an air vent? Okay. I guess that would be realistic. There would be people trapped. So, as I said, you can see the massive variance of frames. It's going from basically the 70s, rounding it up, obviously, all the way down. We're talking like all the way down, which is pretty bad when you consider. However, look at the size of the environments. I do have a feeling that's some of it as well. So, yeah. Oh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I am immortal. Ah dear, calling a zombie an asshole. It makes perfect sense. There's a combo blueprint. Is that the combo blueprint? Is that the combo blueprint? How do you pick it up? There we go. Sweet. Awesome. Alright, let's see what we can do with our crafting. No, don't throw away the bloody helpful thing. Okay, apparently we can't make anything yet. Alright. Wait, can we go up here? Sweet. Ah, grenade. Alright, let's inspect this little fella. Oh, it's a harpoon gun. So, these dudes here... yeah. Alright. Let's try that one more time. So what we can ascertain from this, as I'm sure you can probably guess, is that, as it turns out, grenades are actually pretty useful in this game. Alright, let's try out this last Harpoon Gun and then we can call the video, guys. Because I think... Oh. That's actually kind of cool. I like that. So yeah, I think you can kind of get an idea of what the game's about. I personally think it's pretty cool. If you've not got the rig to run it, you'll have to just turn down the internal rendered resolution. Capcom are apparently working on improvements to the performance. I personally haven't had any crashes. I'm running on the 340 drivers. But I've heard some users have had crashes. The way that I've heard to fix it is that you need to roll back your drivers to the 335s or whatever. But once again, just to reiterate, you know, it's like, at the end of the day, it's kind of happening, and I'm sure they'll fix it the best they can, as it turns out, or as it kind of comes through. So, I don't know, I personally would recommend checking the game out. I personally really like it, but I realise for some people the bugs might kind of piss them off. Anyway, I'm going to have a nice beer. Even though I don't drink in real life, I don't really like the taste of beer at all, if I'm totally honest. And I'm going to leave you guys to it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video and found it somewhat informative. As I said, if you want to find out how to make the game run at 60 frames a second, you can always just go ahead and you can check out the article in the video description. But I'm going to leave you to it. Take care and bye for now.